So what I'm going to talk about today is about emotional cleansing for liver. So emotional spring cleansing. So one thing I wanted to share, that a lot of people are going for spring cleanse right now. It doesn't matter which cleanse you're following. What happens is when you start cleansing, so it's releasing all the toxins that we accumulated during winter, right? So when it's releasing all this toxin, what happens? Our liver and other organs starts to also release emotion. So let me just track back a little bit and explain about emotion. So everything is energy, right? In our body, in our environment, wherever we are living, everything is energy. So emotions, thoughts, these are also energy. Okay. So in our body, all our organs and glands, and it's really well known in Chinese system, Chinese medicine. It's like, I love that part of Chinese medicine. They talk about that all organs and glands create frequency of different emotions. Like in Chinese medicine, it's very well known. If anybody is having lung issues, they say, is there any sadness or grief going on in your life? Because, the lungs create frequency of grief, frequency of sadness, like that. So each organ, so like kidneys are known for generating fear. Okay, liver is known for many other emotions like anger, resentment, depression, even. So the liver generates these frequency. So when we are cleansing, people start to feel more angry, or you start to feel depressed, or you start to feel, oh, I made this mistake, so you start feeling guilty, stuff like that. So I'm just giving you a kind of little bit of understanding why it's happening. When you're cleansing physically, you're also cleansing emotionally. So it's very important that whatever cleanse you are following, also pay attention to emotional cleansing. So there are many good techniques, like deep breathing, just abdominal breathing, like you inhale through your nose and just exhale through your mouth, and your belly is just soft belly. It's called soft belly breathing of Dr. James Gordon, and he says just make your belly soft instead of putting too much pressure for abdominal breathing, because that will create more stress, right? So just when you're inhaling and just when you're exhaling, all this time your belly is totally soft. So when you exhale through your mouth, it's sending your adrenal glands a message that I am safe, I'm protected, I'm not in danger. Because when we are like in a dangerous situation, our adrenals produce adrenaline, right? So it's like it's preparing us for fight or flight kind of response. So that happens, and during that time we are doing more shallow breathing, right? So when we're doing deep breathing, it's an indication, it's a message to our adrenals that we are safe. So that's why very important. And there's many other technique like tapping. You may have heard tapping, like they do tapping like that, and then tap like here, and then the side of the eyes, under the nose, and like if you have learned about tapping, that's a beautiful way of releasing emotion. So any cleanse if you're doing, add tapping or deep breathing with that. So that will help. Before you eat, you can also do, when you're doing deep breathing, you can also put your hand here on your heart, one or both, and then just focus on your heart and breathe. So this will create heart coherence. And once we have heart frequency coherent, you know what it does? It start to bring the message, again, the coherence, which even helps our brain waves to be coherent. And once our brain waves are coherent, it's very healing for the whole body. So those are the things that you can use on your own. So one thing I want to also share, that even if liver generates the frequency of anger and depression or guilt kind of thing, it's not necessarily that the frequency and those emotions stay in liver. It can migrate. So let me tell you about the trapped emotion. So what happens when we are going through any event and feeling any emotion? So the event passes, and most of the time we work through it. But sometimes the grief or any other emotion, anger, is so much that part of it we have not expressed or we have not processed in our mind, in our emotion. So that energy of that emotion, it could be anger, grief, guilt, whatever, the energy of that as a ball of energy stays stuck in our body. So even if the anger is produced in liver, it's not necessarily that will stay in liver. It can go and migrate and can get stuck in our throat, suppose. Or suppose the kidneys are producing fear emotion, so that can go and migrate and that can get stuck in our liver. So I work with this system called emotion code and body code. So that's where I check all the organs and what emotions they're stuck in there, right? So I do it with muscle testing. So it says, okay, check the liver or check whatever organ or gland. So I go there and when I check the trapped emotion, so I find many times fear in liver. Even if the fear frequency is generated in our kidneys, it can migrate. So that it just tells me that it can migrate the trapped energy of that emotion because it's floating around in our whole body and it can go and get stuck anywhere, right? So with muscle testing, you can find that emotion and release it. There is a little chart of emotion that I'll be using, and I can just muscle test and release the emotion. I want to share some of the symptoms about what happens when our liver is out of balance. So let me share the symptoms. So we may have difficulty digesting fatty food. That's a liver and gallbladder. Actually, it's more gallbladder function because gallbladder releases bile juice. Liver produces the bile juice, but it gets accumulated in the gallbladder. And then when we eat any fatty food, gallbladder just sends it to our digestive, tract. So when we have liver is imbalanced, and when I say liver, gallbladder is kind of included in there. So we have difficulty digesting fatty food. We have heartburn or acid reflux. These are just symptoms. People may or may not have these or may have one of these. Difficulty losing weight even after eating less. So this is one of the things that really is important point here. So people think that I'm eating so little, but I am not been able to lose weight. And people say, even if I think about food, I gain weight. Some people I have heard saying that. So there are many reasons, of course, but one of the main reasons is toxin in our body. So if the toxin is accumulated, the body has a mechanism to make it like in kind of the toxins are in the fat, and that fat is especially accumulated in our upper abdomen, like where liver is, right? So that's where the body stores there, like we have belly fat, the toxins. So that one is there with the fat, so that our body is protecting us from becoming too acidic. So if you're eating less but still not losing weight, maybe you need a liver detox or take care of your liver. And then abdominal bloating, which I already talked about, fat around upper abdomen, tendency for body to overheat resulting in excessive perspiration. Like people sweat a lot of people sweat a lot, maybe their liver needs a little more balancing. People also have fatigue and mood swings. So it's like a roller coaster of emotion just from liver itself. So that can happen. So these are just the symptoms. So another thing I didn't talk about is more hydration. Like we need to hydrate more to keep even the toxin, once it's more soluble, more diluted, it is a less negative effect in our body. So that's why hydration is very important. And each and every cell in our body, they need hydration to function properly, right? And for the membrane of the cell to work properly, we need it to stay hydrated. Because there's a fourth phase of water that's in the cells. If you have followed Jerry Pollack's work, he has found the fourth phase of water, like solid, liquid, gas. These are the three forms we know about water. But the fourth phase of water is gel form, it's like, think about aloe vera gel, right? How the gel comes out, that's like fourth phase of water. So our cells, inside our cells, the fourth phase of water is there. So how do we hydrate our body and our cells? Is putting a pinch of sea salt in your drinking water. So if you just keep drinking water, if you have noticed, you keep running to bathroom, right? But I learned in hydrationfoundation.org that if you put a pinch of salt, it will not make you run to the bathroom. So if you're doing any kind of detox diet, in case, make sure that you are moving your body through rebounding, through walking, or any other exercise that you're doing. That's very important, so that our lymphatic system can drain all those toxins that being, because you don't want to release toxin out of your organs and gland and then it doesn't know where to go. Then what happens? Our body reabsorbs it. So that's why we have to keep our intestines clean. So elimination is very important. So when we do lemon water and those kind of things, chia seed, all these lighter food, and more greens, raw greens when we eat and add in our diet, whether you're doing smoothie or salads, this will help you to be more regular. And that's a very important part of spring cleansing or any kind of cleansing. Anybody wants to volunteer, I can show how the emotion code, I can find some emotion stuck in, it could be anywhere, but we can check especially the liver. Because once, what happens also, I've heard like a lot of people are doing very strong cleanses and they said still their liver is not detoxifying as they should be. So you have to take the emotional part out of that, because if they're trapped the emotion in our liver, what is happening is blocking the energy flow in the liver. So Sandra, you want to volunteer? So okay, Sandra, you can write if there's any issue going on, if you know anything in liver, or if you have any kind of pain anywhere in your body, you can write and comment and I'll check for you with the muscle testing. Because with muscle testing, I do it on my own, so I don't need to be with somebody. Like, you know, chiropractors, they stretch your arm and muscle test. So I can do self muscle. So I do ring and ring method like that and just check it that's way. So Sandra, write if there's any issue going on. If not, we can still do it. If you have any pain, any part of your body, that's the great way to see if we release something. I have pain on my left elbow for about 3 weeks already. Okay, all right, Sandra. So let's see. If you put it in a scale of 1 to 10, so 10 is really, really severe pain. 1 is like a little bit pain. So where would you put it in the scale of 1 to 10, the pain level? It's hard to put, even grab stuff, so it's quite severe. Okay. So in your mind, where would you put it, the left elbow pain? Right now at 8. Right now at 8. Okay. 8 out of 10. Okay. All right. So let's do it and see if I can find some emotion and release it. Okay. So let's just take a moment to I'll just connect with intention with you, Sandra. Okay, so let me check if the left elbow, is there any trapped emotion that's causing the pain that we can release? Your body's saying yes. Okay, so I'm going to check. I have this chart, so I'm going to check. So with muscle testing, so this is how, I don't know what emotion it is. Your subconscious mind is telling me. Okay, so I'm going to check. So there's emotion of grief actually is stuck somehow affecting. Emotion of grief. Like I said, the emotion could be from anywhere and it can migrate in any part of the body. So, okay, so in your left elbow. Okay, so I'm asking, do we need to know more? It's saying we need to know more. Okay, so let me check how long ago. I don't want to ask your age right now, so I'm going to ask how long ago. Is it current? Saying no. Is it before? Is it more than 5 years ago? Yes. More than 10 years ago? Yes. More than 15? No. So more than 10, but not more than 15. So 10, 11, 12. So almost 12 years ago. This grief is from 12 years ago. And when it gives me, it could be 13 years, it could be 11 years, so around that time. So we are talking about 12 years. So 2008, 9, around that time, 8, 9, 10, around that time. If there was, so you can say if it makes sense. Sometimes we don't remember what happened 12 years ago. Yes. So Cynthia, Sandra, if you can say if it makes sense, or no, I don't recall any grief 12 years ago. And like I said, 12 years could be a little more or less. It might be. Okay. So now it's saying, okay, do we need to know more? Saying no. So I'm going to go ahead and release. So to release it, there is governing meridian that goes from upper lip all the way to our tailbone. So in that whole thing, any part of that, if I put the intention and release it, okay, you don't really remember, it's fine. It's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and release anyway. So let me go ahead and release. Sometimes we don't recall. Because with emotion, one tricky thing happened. Suppose there's something happened 20 years ago, and now you're thinking today about that 20 years ago. So what will happen? You will generate those emotions, you will feel those emotions, and you can create trapped emotion of the same emotion, even if nothing is happening in that period of time. Does it make sense? Okay, so now let me check. We released it. Okay, so now just move your elbow, your arm, and see. It may or may not have any effect right now, because we can find more. Just see if there's any difference. And while you're checking, I'll check for the next emotion. What happened, Sandra? You can move your arm. That's wonderful. Okay. Wow. So isn't our body so amazing, and our subconscious mind that can remember things which consciously we don't? Okay, so the next emotion, it showed up as discouragement. So discouragement. I'm asking, do we need to know? Saying no, we don't need to know anything. We can go ahead and release. I guess your subconscious mind knows enough that it doesn't, like the last one, it says find out when, right? But this one is saying no, we can go ahead and release. You are jumping now, I can't believe. That's wonderful, Sandra. I'm so happy. Okay, so let's release the second emotion that showed up. Okay, good. Okay, so now see what happens. I release just the second one. It's okay. Okay. So now from 8 to where would you put it in the scale of 1 to 10? You said pain is really minimal. Maybe it's 2 or 3 or something. Okay, so while we are waiting for Sandra to write what she's feeling now, see, this is how so easy, and anybody can do it. It's like there's no magic behind it. It's just pure science. And then just knowing the energy. You're saying it's at 1 now. So from 8 to 1, just releasing one emotion. In fact, you already start feeling releasing after releasing one emotion, and then I release the second one as well. Wow. You feel tingling. Yeah, so maybe energy is moving now. And yeah, that's wonderful. I'm so happy. Wow. I'm so glad that you volunteered. Okay, so your forearm. Okay. All right, so let's check. Let's check, because it's okay. That's totally fine. So let's check if there's another emotion we can release, saying yes, forearm. Okay, so saying discouragement again in the forearm. But okay, let's see, do we need to know more? Saying no. So I'm going to go ahead and release that from your forearm. Okay. So you have it, but it's very little. Okay. So the forearm. And I was also able to grab a bottle. Wow, that's amazing. That's great, Sandra. Yeah, this is a big deal. That's true, Sandra. Because it's so easy, our body, like, wow, that's amazing. I'm so happy for you, Sandra. Thank you so much for volunteering.